In the bustling world of daytime television, where laughter and light-hearted banter often fill the airwaves, an unexpected storm brewed on the set of ITV's beloved Loose Women. It was a crisp autumn morning in September 2025 when Dame Judi Dench, the epitome of British elegance and a living legend with an Oscar to her name, graced the studio with her presence. At 90 years young, Judi was there to promote her latest memoir, a poignant reflection on a career spanning 7 decades, from Shakespearean stages to the silver screen as in James Bond. The Loose Women panel, known for their unfiltered opinions and cheeky humor, consisted of regulars Denise Welch, a fiery soap star from Coronation Street and Waterloo Road, alongside Colleen Nolan and Gloria Hunniford. The audience buzzed with excitement, cameras rolled smoothly, and host Christine Lampard welcomed Judi with warm applause. Little did anyone anticipate that this seemingly innocuous chat would erupt into one of the most talked-about clashes in British TV history, leaving viewers stunned and social media ablaze. As Judi settled into her seat, her signature wood sparkling in her eyes, the conversation flowed effortlessly at first, touching on her enduring love for theater and the challenges of aging in the spotlight. Denise, ever the outspoken one, leaned in with a grin, eager to bond over shared experiences of being trailblazing women in entertainment. But beneath the surface pleasantries, tensions simmered, waiting for the spark that would ignite the powder keg. The studio lights beamed down like judgmental spotlights, the audience's murmurs a gentle hum, and the panel's energy crackled with the promise of revelation. Judi, dressed in a simple yet chic emerald blouse that complemented her silver hair, spoke with the measured poise of someone who had commanded kings and queens on stage. Denise, vibrant in a bold red dress that matched her personality, nodded enthusiastically, her Geordie accent adding a layer of warmth to her interjections. Christine steered the ship with practiced ease, posing questions about Judi's recent charitable endeavors and her views on modern feminism in Hollywood. Laughter rippled through the room as Judi recounted a hilarious anecdote from filming Skyfall, where she had to scold Daniel Craig's 007 like a stern headmistress. The camaraderie felt genuine, a rare moment where celebrity met everyday candor. The conversation, initially a gentle stream, began to meander into choppier waters when Denise Welch, with her trademark bluntness, shifted the focus to the elephant in the room, or rather, the memoir's candid revelations about ageism in the industry. Judi had written eloquently about being sidelined for roles post-70. Her words a clarion call against the youth-obsessed machine of showbiz. Dame Judi, you've nailed it in your book A Hollywood Treats Us Over 50s Like Yesterday's News, Denise declared, her voice booming with solidarity that bordered on performative. The audience nodded, a wave of agreement rippling through, but Judi's response was measured, her eyes narrowing ever so slightly behind her glasses. It's not just Hollywood, my dear, it's everywhere. But one must persist with grace, not grievance, she replied, the word grievance landing like a velvet-gloved slap. Denise, undeterred, pressed on, recounting her own battles with mental health stigma and tabloid scrutiny, drawing a parallel that felt forced, as if equating Bond villainesses to EastEnders drama. We've both been through the ringer, haven't we? Patronized, dismissed, it's exhausting, the panelist chuckled nervously, Colleen piping in with a quip about menopausal hot flashes in the spotlight. But Judi's smile tightened, a flicker of irritation betraying her composure. Viewers later dissected this moment in online forums, noting how Denise's enthusiasm veered into overfamiliarity, treating the dame like a peer rather than a pinnacle. The studio clock glowed 11:15, the segment halfway through, and Christine attempted a bridge. Judi, how do you keep the fire burning? But Denise interjected, exactly like me, fighting for every scrap. Remember when I called out that producer for sexism on Live Telly? Her story, vivid and laced with expletives bleeped in post, elicited gasps and giggles, but Judi shifted in her seat, her fingers drumming lightly on the armrest. The air hummed with unspoken hierarchy in Judi's knighthood versus Denise's Goethe, and it was here that the first real spark flew. What started as a spirited debate on empowerment suddenly veered into personal territory, igniting the fuse that no amount of ad-lib charm could extinguish. Denise, perhaps emboldened by the applause her previous tirade garnered, turned the spotlight inward with a question that crossed the invisible line of decorum. Judi, in your book, you mention losing roles to younger starlets. Does it ever feel like we're all just playing second fiddle to these Instagram influencers with their filtered perfection? Her tone was conspiratorial, eyes twinkling with what she thought was shared disdain. But to Judi, it smacked of superficiality, reducing decades of artistry to social media snark. The dame's response was swift, her voice dropping to the chilling register she perfected as a Bond foe. My dear, art isn't filtered, it's forged in fire and failure. Dismissing the young does the AMA and USA a disservice. The studio fell into a pin-drop silence, broken only by a cough from the front row. Colleen's attempt at levity. Speak for yourself. I love a good filter. A fell flat. The laugh track absent in this raw feed. Denise, stung, fired back, her accent thickening with emotion. With respect, it's easy to say when you've got the accolades. Some of us clawed our way up without the silver spoon. The implication hung heavy. Class warfare injected into a chat about cinema, and Judi's eyes flashed, a rare glimpse of the steel beneath her silk. Clawing or not, success demands dignity, not division, she retorted, her words precise as a sonnet's iamb. The audience gasped collectively, phones whipping out to live tweet the showdown. #Judi vs Denise exploding with memes of Bond gadgets versus soap suds. Christine, sweating under her makeup, interjected desperately, ladies, we're all on the same team. But the damage was done. Denise's face hardened, her retort tumbling out unchecked. Dignity? Try dignity when the press calls you a has-been at 40. Judi leaned forward, unblinking, then rise above it, as I have ya without airing laundry on national television. The bar blended, evoking Denise's infamous tabloid scandals, and the panelist's composure cracked, her voice rising an octave. The eruption reached fever pitch as Denise, her face a mask of righteous indignation, escalated the verbal volley with a personal zinger that shattered any remnant of civility. You sit there in your ivory tower, preaching grace, but have you ever felt truly invisible, Judi? Like me, battling demons while the world watches? She hurled, invoking her well-documented struggles with addiction and depression, a sacred cow in her narrative. The studio recoiled. Even Colleen winced, whispering too far under her breath. Judi, the master of understatement, didn't flinch. Instead, she delivered a coup de grace with surgical precision. Invisibility is the actress's art, Denise. Mastering it requires silence, not soliloquies on suffering. The audience erupted in a split reaction, half applauding the wit, half booing the perceived coldness, creating a cacophony that drowned Christine's frantic pleas. Phones buzzed incessantly, clips already viraling on TikTok with captions like "Dame Slay Soap Queen." Denise slammed her hand on the table, sloshing perilously close to the edge. Silence, that's privilege talking. Not everyone can afford your stiff upper lip. Judi's retort was ice. Privilege is earned through endurance, not entitlement to every audience's pity. The words sliced deep, evoking Denise's reality TV stints and memoir plug-ins, and the panelist surged to her feet, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard. Pity? This is pain, you patronizing old. The epithet hung unspoken, bleeped in real time, but the intent scorched. Gloria gasped audibly, hand to chest, while Christine bolted upright, microphone clutched like a shield. Commercial break. We're out. But Judi, rising with regal slowness, fixed Denise with a gaze that could curdle cream. I've endured wars you can't imagine, ya on stage and off. Spare me the sermon. The dame's exit began then, a deliberate stride toward the wings, but producers, faces ashen in the control booth, weren't done. Whispers from crew revealed the directive: escort her out politely, but firmly. Liability nightmare. In the immediate aftermath, as the studio lights dimmed on the chaotic segment, the airwaves and internet ignited into a frenzy that eclipsed even the show's highest Nielsen peaks. Christine Lampard, ever the professional, returned post-break with a pallid face and scripted somberness. We're sorry for the earlier disruption. Emotions run high when passions collide, but apologies couldn't stem the tide. Viewers flooded ITV switchboards, social media a battlefield of hashtags and hot takes. #Team Judi trended globally, fans lauding her as the queen who doesn't bend, With clips of her exit remixed to Chumbawamba's tube-thumping, Denise's defenders rallied under #StandWithWelch, hailing her vulnerability as the realest moment on daytime TV since Jerry Springer went Brit. Celebrities weighed in. Emma Thompson tweeted solidarity with Judi, calling it ageism wrapped in faux feminism, while Dawn French quipped, "Denise, love, sometimes less is more, especially on loose women." Tabloids feasted. The Sun Splash screamed Dame Judi's fury, kicked out after Welch wore. With paparazzi shots of Judi's car fleeing the lot, ITV's PR machine went into overdrive, issuing statements praising both women's courageous candor while hinting at edited reruns. Judi, ensconced in her London flat overlooking the Thames, fielded calls from agents and allies, her memoir sales surging 500% overnight. Irony's bitter pill. She granted no interviews that day, instead penning a gracious note to the producers. "A vigorous debate, let us learn from it." Denise, however, hit the airwaves, appearing on BBC Radio 4's Woman's Hour the next morning, voice husky from tears. "I admire Judi immensely. Being mistaken for her twice a week is a compliment, but I won't apologize for speaking my truth." Her revelation, a nod to past mix-ups, humanized the melee, sparking viral threads of look-alike memes.